Video sponsored by Safe and Efficient Plumbing and Drain Services, Classy Automotive Paint and Supply, The Knockoff Buddy, Wet Glaze Finish Care, and Cerna Wire Wheels. For more information on our sponsors, go to the information section under this YouTube video.
Welcome to another Finche podcast.
What's up? You're here with another Pinche podcast, and this is Lobo, and I have a special guest.
Hello, my name is Monse. I go by Esa Monse on Instagram.
How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
So far, so good. So we're gonna do something a little different today. This was your idea, but you're gonna interview me.
Yes, sir.
Nice shirt, by the
Something
way.
different. I'm like, let's mix it up.
Yeah,
Not you doing the whole thing. Let's have somebody else do it.
the nice shirt, by the way.
oh, hold on. Let me just. You guys get this on the website at beachlowriders.com.
Yep,
And the back of it. I don't know if you can see
definitely.
it.
Yeah, I can see it.
A lot of you guys can see it, but all right. So let's get this started.
All right. Well, give me a before you start asking me all the questions. Give us a little bit of background. You model. Where are you from? Stuff like that.
All right. So I model for Wicked Ways Lowriders from Reno, Nevada. So you guys look that up. They are the biggest lowrider community that we have in Nevada. So if you guys look it up, we're gonna be the first ones to show up. I am born and raised from Reno, Nevada, and I got introduced by Beach Lowriders about 2 years ago?
A couple years ago, yeah.
Right. Yeah. And we've been in touch ever since. Really
Definitely.
good community. So much love.
We crossed too many paths, but it's like gotta get
Right.
to
We
Reno.
just keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Exactly. Right. All right. So how are we gonna start off today?
All right. So we're just gonna introduce yourself. So where are you from?
Well,
You
my name's
know.
Rick. I'm born and raised from San Jose, California. You know, a lot of people always ask me. I get this everywhere I go. They're like, "Are you where are you from?" Or like a lot of people assume I'm from LA because I'm always out there with the Lowriders, which is funny
Right.
because
No, because a lot of people think like once you say California, they're like, oh yeah, LA. But
yeah,
it's like, no, there's so many places.
it's a 5.5 hour drive from San Jose to LA. So it's a big difference. I get people from out of state and they'll tag me and stuff that's happening in LA, and I'm like, well, I'm in California, and it's not even lowrider stuff. Sometimes it's like photography jobs and stuff, and I'm like
Oh yeah.
6 hours away from me. But
You make it work.
yeah, exactly. And I like to travel, but born and raised, went to school my whole life. Everything lived out here. My family's from out here. And yeah, I went school, everything, all San Jose. Born and raised. I've moved a little bit, a couple times out of town, but I've always ended up right back here. So that's where I'm from, and I'm 47 years old, and yeah, I've been doing this for a minute.
Okay. Hell yeah. All right. So why did you choose lowriders and stick to lowrider photography?
The thing is the easy way to say it is that for low riding, if you're doing photography, low riding, you're never gonna get bored. There's never just like all black cars, all white cars. There's always something different. There's always different paint jobs. There's always different styles. You can get pretty much 2, 3, 4, 64 Impalas, but they're not going to be the same. And, you know, growing up when I was a kid, I seen the cars. We lived in San Jose. We had one of the biggest single to mile celebrations in California in the United States at the time in the 80s. And I would see the parades. I would see the cars. My mom would be like, look at those cars go up and down and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It really wasn't like, I think it was, when I was in high school, really, I had people in my family that had cars, but I never really paid attention. And then it wasn't until high school when I picked up my first Lowrider magazine, and I just started like that just started piquing my interest. And you see, like the stuff that's behind me, my bedroom. Like as I started getting my Lowrider magazines and stuff, I started like
Start collecting and
yeah, I
building.
started collecting like from the get. Like once I got the first one, then it was like I want a subscription to this.
You
Then
want to
every
keep going.
Yep, exactly. And never would have thought that I would have been doing this. I never thought that, I would my dream would have been like, I was at one point I wanted to be a mechanic or work on cars and stuff like
Yeah, I was
that.
gonna say, what was your dream? Let's just say.
Yeah, well, yeah, and when I had uncles that always worked on cars. I had one uncle that you do everything: body, paint, engine work, interior, and I would help them. And I had other uncles that were also mechanically inclined. I've changed engines myself out of my own cars. I've had Cutlasses, Monte Carlos. I had a '77 Impala. I've done all that stuff. I put my own hydraulics. Never, no experience doing it. And I lifted my '75 Monte Carlo in the front. And I put up my own hydraulics in it, all because I was watching the videos that Lowrider magazine had put out about hydraulic installation,
The Lowrider
reading the
magazine, they've been helping you.
magazines about the tech, all that stuff. I read the magazines. I didn't just
Okay.
collect them, but I read it from everything. And
Right. You gotta
so
read it from scratch. Do everything from scratch.
exactly. And so my thought process was eventually, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a mechanic. I'm gonna work on cars. I want to build cars, and I want to have a lowrider. And life sent me in a different direction, but ultimately I started getting involved with YouTube when it first came out, and I had a camera. I had a little digital camera, and I
That's
started.
where it all starts, right?
That's right. And I just started making videos, and there was the new YouTube wasn't even Google yet, and I started posting videos from like toy drives and stuff. So, um,
From the
it
get go, you're just
yeah,
like
it
go
was
go.
there, yeah, and it just kept going. But this was, I mean, let me see. I mean, think about it. It was probably what 2010, 2011. Well, when I started doing more of this with actually buying a camera and stuff like that.
Right. So when did you first begin? When was your very first YouTube video?
I think it's like 2009. And one of the very first videos, there was a Vejitos car club. They did I think it was either Vejitos or Impalas. And one of my very first videos, before, obviously before Pinches Lowriders and stuff like that,
Right.
was a couple toy drives. And that year it was like late 2009. And I put those videos up, and I had my own little personal page. And then, um, a couple years go by, and then a magazine that I'm not going to really name, but a independent magazine had asked me to start doing stuff for them, and I created their YouTube channel, and I was doing video. Um, one of the so I did that for about 7 years, and then I decided I wanted to do my own thing. So in about 2017, I created this Pinches Lowriders, and I hadn't posted anything yet. I believe it was 2017. I think so. But I hadn't posted nothing yet, and I just started like posting flyers and things like that, and I didn't tell
Mhm.
anybody about what I was doing. I was just trying to get people to follow me
Right.
generically. And then it wasn't until my first video I decided my first videos were going to be from the Arizona Super Show that year, and I went to that show, and all my footage and everything went up there. That was my first videos for the Pinches Lowriders
I think
YouTube
it's
channel.
2017.
Yeah, I believe I created the channel in 2017, but I didn't post until I think 2018.
Oh wow. Okay. 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 So it was the summer of 2018 in the Arizona show. That's where it
Yeah,
all
no,
started.
yeah. If you go to the beginning of my channel, Pinches Lowriders, the videos are all from the Arizona Super Show. The very first three videos were from that show.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
and then one of the videos from that show was a hop, and that hop video has several million views to this date.
And that was one of your first videos.
Yeah, yeah, it was one of my
Heck yeah.
first videos.
See, that's when you know that you elevate and keep going.
That's the thing is I'm right now currently in the last couple of days I've been studying the next move. I can't tell what the next move is, but I've been studying it.
And
And
don't
it's
can't tell, don't
yeah, can't
say,
tell. You'll
don't
know when it
no.
happens. You
Just
know when it happens.
don't know when you do it, okay?
Yeah, definitely. And I like what I do and I stay in my lane. Like, for me,
Absolutely.
I'm really a long form content creator. I'm a YouTube content creator.
Oh yeah.
And but it's always you have to evolve with the
You have
times.
a lot of boundaries that you have done
Mm.
respected, like in every platform. So
Yes.
yes.
And that's the one thing that keeps me going. Like you say, it's like always moving forward, finding a reason to keep going.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's you know,
Keep building type thing. Like just
absolutely.
mm-hmm.
And for me too, it's like I try to keep it simple, so I'm not overcomplicating with things. I'm usually a
Right.
one-man band type person. You've seen me out there, I'm all by myself, but so everything I do I have to try to minimalize it to be able to get what I want to get done.
But that's also what people like. When people get too complicated and all this extra stuff, they don't want that. They don't like that. They
Yeah,
like that classic casual raw footage.
yeah,
And that's what you give.
yeah, exactly. And that's the main thing. It's like you got now the competition is getting out there faster, and I get that part, and I've
But
always
that
done
doesn't
that.
faster doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
If you grow, you grow. If you don't,
exactly.
it's okay. But as
Absolutely.
long as you know you're doing your job and as long as you love what you're doing, that's all
Mm.
that matters.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. I like what I'm doing. It's not always fun, but it's kind of fun after the fact because I'm
Oh,
so
you
serious.
have fun. Don't even
I
say you
have
don't have
fun.
fun.
Well, I try to have fun, but not all. I don't always let myself have fun, especially if I'm crunched for
Behind the
time.
camera.
And yeah, I'm behind the camera. So
Right.
but the thing is I've learned that in the last couple of years, I have to let myself have fun. I do because it's
You have
then
to
it
allow
becomes
yourself to just enjoy what you're doing. Of course,
yeah,
you're doing what you do, but
yeah,
of- you have to get focused and you got other things going on. But behind the camera, you're someone else.
yeah.
You're you're Peaches Lowriders, okay?
Yeah, I'm busy. No, it's I don't know. It's funny because it's like what was it? Um, I want to say I keep saying it's effort, and it was
Oh,
funny because
definitely.
it's
You,
funny because I see like oh man, what's that character? The actor that does Deadpool. He has this saying like maximum effort, right? That
oh,
and
he just keeps going. Yeah.
yeah, and it cracks me up because I'm like, yeah, because at the end of the day, people are like, how do you do it? How do you do it? How do you do it? I said, it's just effort. It's just because I have no choice. Well, I have a choice, but I
I was
make it.
gonna say you have a choice,
Yeah,
but you
but
choose to keep going, which is good. You don't
uh,
just stop and quit, leave it. No.
exactly. There's always more to
Yeah.
do because we
Oh
can
yeah,
you know,
definitely. There's always something to do.
absolutely.
Yes.
So next,
Okay. Let's go to the next question. Okay, so you said that you've had the channel for since 2017
yeah, almost what I think.
or 2018?
Yeah, I think it's what 7, 8 years.
Uh-huh.
I'll look.
Okay. So question is, how long have you been into the industry of photo and photography?
It's about 2010. So about 14 years, like really literally doing photography. I'm published.
Realistically.
Yeah, I'm a published photographer. I've had 2 magazine covers. I've been published in a couple different publications.
What years? What was your first year?
I would say, I think being published, I think it was 2012 or 2013. Being in like for covers, yeah, 2012, 2013, something like that. And then being in the magazine, I think it was like 2011, 2012. Being
Okay.
published in my first publication. I've had photos that have been um used as a template for shirts from David Gonzalez.
Wow.
This great photo right here is the original photo. Um, is an original photo that I took, and he made the one. I think it's something dolls or something, and it was Marilyn Monroe and all the famous women from the actresses from way back when, and they're in the car. But that's based off of that photo right there, and then
Wow. So the one
that's
that you
the
took.
several girls in the car, and they're all the older famous actresses. That's David Gonzalez based that off of that photo, and then a matter of fact, then that one right there, that photo right there is from David Gonzalez and it's signed. And that's also based off of a photo that I took in 2011. And these photos didn't get popular until 2013. So, they were pictures. I had them. And then like later on, I did a poster, and then that poster sold. I sold over 100 copies of that poster at the time. And then later on, it was turned into a T-shirt for David Gonzalez. And it just so happened to it's the same main model that's in the middle. The girl that's in here and the girl that's there is the same person.
Wow. And
And
then who's that model, if you can say?
uh, um, well, I just brain fart. Mona. Her name's Mona. But yeah, she doesn't
Mona.
model anymore. But yeah, her name was Mona. They
Oh,
called her
so cute.
doll face Mona, but she doesn't have an Instagram or anything like that. So people be like, who is she? She's all,
Right.
she doesn't do that. She's she's married and with kids and
Right. She got her own life going on now.
yep. But yeah,
Heck
so things
yeah.
like that
That's
were
great. Hell yeah. And
and
then what was your reaction? What was your first reaction when you seen that poster on his page or on his t-shirt?
well, the funny thing was, oh shoot, boy, I'm trying to find something. Um, the funny part was is that I didn't know that he did that, and a couple of my friends they were like, "No, dude, look at this," and then they were like, did he pay you? Did he ask permission? It was like right away, and it
It's
was like,
always that
oh,
very first question. People don't
yeah,
even be looking at the outside, but they just be like,
and,
"Oh,
and to me, I'm like, dude, that's my picture. But I mean, and
right."
it wasn't that, because sometimes this happens. Even they've done shirts and stuff. I can't find my hold on. I'm trying to find my channel information here.
You're
But
so
you know,
good.
the but the thing is that they everybody was like, oh my god, he did this, he did that. They used your stuff and everything else, and I'm like, yeah, and but I was more like flattered, like grateful. And he did acknowledge that it was mine after the fact and everything else like that. And then for the other picture that he ended up using, um, he asked for permission, and he did, and we did work out an agreement for this other smaller picture that's over there. And so he paid me for the use of that photo so that he could make it into that. So it
Did
wasn't
you first get acknowledged on that first photo, that big one you have behind you? On
well,
that first
it's just
one?
when when he brought the picture out, everybody was like, "That's Rick, that's your picture." And then some
Right.
people thought that I took the picture to mimic what he made, but he
Oh, but it
used
was
it.
originally yours.
Yeah, the photo didn't even get popular till 2013, but it was taken in
Yeah.
20. So, that's the only thing, and one of the things that I was trying to, say is like, uh, I didn't take it as an insult or like I got robbed or anything. People are like, man, you better tell him to pay you. And I'm like, dude, it gives me, like I said, at
At
the
the
end of
end
the
of the
day,
day,
next time he
right.
used my photo, he did compensate me. But the point being is I was more excited. I was like, oh, hell
It's
yeah.
all respect, all dues and
Yep.
respect. Like,
And then
yeah, knowledge.
last
And
last year they used an old photo I took many years ago, and it was also a Viejitos Car Club. It was one of their toy drives, and it was a picture, and they used it on one of the shirts for the Arizona show, the Lowrider magazine show this year.
of
Not last year,
2024.
actually this year, yeah,
Oh
early
wow.
in the very beginning of the year.
Uh
Their
huh.
shirt, their car show shirt had a picture of a bomb. That bomb, I took that picture.
Hmm.
So it was like under my original name when I had Lobo Style Images was like who my original photographer,
Where you
like,
were first from,
yeah,
right? Like where you
they
just came
found
up.
and they found it on the internet and they made it into a shirt. But the same difference is I just said, yeah, that's my shirt, but I didn't complain. I mean, that's my picture. To me, it's like once again, I'm
You're
grateful.
getting recognition of like years ago, or
Yeah,
it just keeps going.
my work is still
Oh
relevant,
yeah,
and it comes up, and people may not have known that it was me, but it still comes up. It's catching somebody's attention. My work is still relevant.
oh
So
definitely.
so
And just
actually, so I
know
said
you're
20.
making history, okay?
That's what I'm trying to do, and that's why
Oh,
the
you
videos,
are.
I'm trying to
I'm
keep
like,
history in. And so I finally found the button that I needed to press here. So actually, I this with the Peaches Lowriders page, I joined it in October 12th, 2016. It says when they puts the date when the page was created, but
oh wow,
I
2016.
didn't I didn't put any videos up until that I believe February, which was the Arizona Super Show that year. So
Yes,
2017 was the actual first year I started putting videos up in
and
on
like
YouTube.
pages up and all that stuff.
Yep. So,
So that was like briefly, almost, yeah, that was briefly a year ago, or
well,
like not a year ago, but let's just say
2017 technically. So
like
yeah,
years ago.
7 years.
7 years, but
Going on
in
8 years already.
yeah, I'm gonna say 8 years. Yeah.
And it's been a lot because I have to do a lot and I travel and everything else like that. So I'm trying to
Oh
always be,
yeah, that's the
you
good
know,
thing about you, that you make your way out of it. Like you got work, you got your personal life going
yeah.
on, but you still go town to town to town, back to back. Not even just one
Yo,
day
you
to
I'm
another.
glad
Like
you
you
see
go
that.
back to back.
Well, yeah, that's the funny thing. So there's been a couple times when there's like just a good example, not this year, but last year, there was the Chicano Park, and I flew out
Yes.
there, and then I had a show in Stockton on Sunday, and I had Chicano Park on Saturday. And then
Mm.
so I'm walking around in Stockton, and everybody's like, "Weren't you just in San Diego?" And I said, "Yeah." But but see, the thing is fortunately to go to San Diego for Chicano Park, it's an hour flight from San Jose.
Oh yeah.
So when I go to Chicano Park, a lot of times I fly out in the morning. I Uber to the park. I go do my thing. I go eat, and then I Uber back to the hotel. Uber back to the airport, and I come right back. And for me, it benefits me because I'm saving money. I don't have to pay for a hotel. I'm not paying for expensive food out there. And,
Especially the food.
and I'm home in bed, in my own bed by the end of the night. But that year I did that. I came back. I went to sleep. As a matter of fact, I came home. I loaded my car for the show for Stockton. I charged all my batteries and everything else. Downloaded my footage from Chicano Park. Started editing, and then I went to bed. Woke up, drove to Stockton, which is an hour away, and did that car show. But it was just funny because everybody's like, "You were just in San Diego."
Hmm.
Like, yeah, but that's what I do. That's what I do. If I can go out of town and I go, okay, they're gonna have, like, for instance, I fly out to Arizona, they're gonna have a cruise after the car show. Saturday, this car show, I go to the car show, do that all day long. If I have a hotel, if I have the time, I'll go run to the hotel, take a shower, change, and go back out to the cruise. Sometimes I just go from the car show to the cruise, and it's nonstop, nonstop.
Right, definitely. Yeah, oh yeah.
And
Just
I
going back and forth, back and forth.
I can do that sometimes. Not sometimes it's hard, but
Oh yeah.
it's
But
definitely
what I'm like, but what you make it look like, it makes you look like you're super flexible and you go out your way,
right.
which
But
you
that's
do.
I
I'm like,
do,
which you definitely do, and
yeah.
you do all your things. Hell yeah.
And that's it. But I do go out my way, and that's the whole thing because you know what, and it's funny because this is
I
why
know.
I'm
I'm like, I
solo.
already know this is gonna be a funny topic for you.
It's because I'm solo, but when people have tried to help me, not everybody can handle that. They're like, I'm tired. I can't do two back-to-back shows. Sometimes I
I'm
want to
like,
an event on a Saturday and I want to do an event on a Sunday, and then I got people tapping out, and I'm like, then I'm still stuck doing it by myself. So I honestly just stopped inviting people or like whatever. I'm like, look, I'm just gonna go. I'll see you there. If you go, and that's kind of the hard part because
Well, it's kind of like you learn as you go.
yeah, and I just salve it out. It really is like Vegas wiped me out this year. And it
Why do
was
you say so?
because I did the whole show from like 9:30 in the morning till it was over. And then I went back to my hotel, and my hotel is next to the convention center, but I still walked it. It was about maybe a 10-minute walk. And
That's
then,
pretty.
yeah, it's not too bad, but
Well,
carrying
I'm
my
like, no,
equipment.
that's still a walk.
Yeah, and then so I went back to the hotel. I changed out my cards. I did whatever I needed to do and got ready, and I grabbed my stuff and I went to the hop afterwards. Well, that hop didn't really start until about 8ish or 9, almost
Yeah, that
8:30,
was
9 o'clock
late.
at night, but it
Hmm.
didn't end till 3 in the morning.
Wow. So you were out there for a while.
I was out there. I was, um, yeah, pretty much nonstop. I mean, what I think what helped a lot was I was able to like run to the hotel room, jump in the shower, switch out clothes,
So
like
that
get fresh, eat
beginning,
something real
that
quick.
that beginning of you starting, that was for you to be like, oh,
Yeah, a lot of everything just in
what?
general, when you start doing this, you realize what you can and can't get away with. And then a lot of times
Oh no,
try
yes,
different things. Well, you're trying different things and you're like trying to carry all your camera equipment, or do you need this? Do you need that? I should do this. And you realize
no,
some of
yeah,
this
I
stuff
get you.
doesn't
Hmm.
work in these scenarios. Like I even
Right.
my camera setup for the car show is one thing, but my camera setup for the hop is completely different because I don't
Oh,
really need anything fancy other than the right batteries, a decent
equip.
lens, and then and I'm shooting handheld. So
Oh,
really,
definitely. You cannot have your stand. Just no.
yeah, I mean, like I've seen people with all this stuff, this gear, and it's like
Right. It's too much.
especially the thing is the hops is most time you're standing
They're
around doing,
dangerous.
well, it's dangerous, but most time you're standing around not doing anything until the next car comes in. And then so there's a
Exactly.
lot of downtime, either getting cars out, cars break, this and that. And people don't think that it's gonna last that long or they're gonna get all this footage, but the footage of the car hopping only takes a couple minutes and
Oh,
or
not
if
even minutes. It's a few seconds. It
that's
only
right.
lasts as
Well, one of the
much.
guys was like, "I just drove like 3,000 miles for like 30 seconds." But
Right. And that's
that's
always a
what
complaint
happens.
you're gonna get.
Mhm.
That's always gonna be one of the complaints you're gonna get. Like, oh, I came for this. I came this far, but it's really like it's like a 1 minute show.
Well, yeah, it's like a roller coaster, right? It's like the thing
Right.
with
It just depends.
yeah, the hop itself takes forever, depending on it. They had like 100 cars, but it's like in general, each car hopping, it takes a couple seconds to do what they need to do,
Oh
and
yeah. They're gonna do
really
their
it
thing.
takes longer in between switching the cars out and stuff like that than it does for the cars to actually hop and do what they need to do. And
Right.
but once again, this takes patience,
Oh,
and
definitely.
this year, it was interesting. There was a lot of people that were not mindful. Like one thing I learned when I first started doing a lot of the hop stuff was, I had someone tap me on the shoulder, "Hey man, you keep running in front of us. You can't do that." And I was like, "Oh, my bad." Like I realized I need to stay back and let everybody else get their shot too. Be courteous to the next cameraman because I didn't want to come off like that. Like
Right.
as and that was a thing that was kind of being talked about in Vegas because there was some photographers, they were just jumping in front of everybody trying to get their pictures and standing
Like
in
they
front of
weren't considerate,
the
and
back and then they walk
they're just
forward.
going for it. Right.
That's yeah, they're just going for it. And there's a common courtesy. It's like I don't know if I think we were talking about it when we shot in Reno, like people shooting over someone's shoulder. So if you're
Oh,
gonna
definitely.
when someone's working with a photographer, you ask the photographer if
Not even that. Like you also ask the car if
yeah.
anything.
Well, but I mean, like in general, when when
But
when they see a photographer walking around with someone and they're standing
oh
over
yeah,
your shoulder and they're trying to take pictures, and it's like that's not it's rude. You gotta sit
oh
there and,
yeah.
and like,
It's
hey, do you
yeah.
mind if I take pictures too? And they'll be like, yeah, that's fine.
Kind
But
of like give me
all it
give me
takes is
my
that.
space and privacy, and let me do my
Exactly.
thing, and then you can do your thing
Yeah.
next.
Yeah, because I've even had models tell like other photographers that were trying to do that before, like, who are you and why? I'm shooting with him. Did you even ask me? Like, and they're like,
Oh,
oh, and
because
there's
it's
like,
true. I'm
yeah,
like, yeah, you always have to ask permission no matter what. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
it becomes not becomes, but it can come disrespectful to
Yeah,
anybody.
yeah, it's common courtesy. I mean,
Right.
people with phones and they're just snapping a shot because they're there. Yeah, that's one thing. But someone just bust
That's
if they're like
fine.
trying to be a photographer and they're like shooting over something,
Yeah. Coming
it's
in front of you and cutting in, no.
Mhm. Exactly.
Yeah. That's not polite.
So, but that's part of like I said, this is the learning curve. It's my experience, and that's the thing. It's like, some people will say, "Oh, I have these better photos, I have better video." That's great. That works for you. But at the end of the day, what works for me works for me. Don't, and that's,
It's
my,
only how you feel at the end of the day.
yeah, and how I
It's
conduct
behind who's
myself.
behind the camera.
Exactly, and it's the things that I produce, the content I put out there, and people will complain about the media passes and stuff like that. But I talk with the promoters, I work with the promoters. You know, um, I don't pay for the media passes. That's the whole thing. I don't have to.
Exactly. You don't have to.
But it's because of my experience and the things that I do to make sure that the content is out and relevant for these promoters before the next year's show, after their show, all these
But that
things
also
matter.
gives you a big platform of like you respect a lot of people, like not a lot of
Yes.
people, but let's just say like
Yeah. No, I have
everybody
respect for the
everybody
promoter.
likes you. You
Yeah.
I'm like everybody likes you. There's no in between,
Mm,
which is amazing. You have a
mm,
big community. There's a
mm.
big community even going to you. Like that's amazing.
Yeah. And that's what I've built. And that was
Exactly.
my main thing was grab all this content. In the first couple of years I was doing this on my own, it was grab as much content as possible. Then it was, let's design a platform. Let me make a platform to get all this content out fast. And then promoters started to see that. And part of
You
that was
blew up. I'm like
I
you
learned
blew
how to
up.
build a website. I did all this shit on my own. I
And
learned
I was
all
just
this
gonna
on
ask
myself.
you, when
Mhm.
did you first create your website?
Almost immediately. So
When
one of
would
the
you
things
say roughly?
one of the things that I did was, once I started creating the content that I did for the car show with the videos, I
Uh-huh.
knew that I needed a place to put my photos because I do both, right?
Right.
And so the big deal was for me was I had to learn how to design a website. And that's what something I learned. So once I got the YouTube rolling and I went and did my first car show in Arizona that kicked off the Peaches Lowriders brand and my content, even though I have Instagram and everything else, I didn't want to put just all my photos on social media. So I went around, and when I created the YouTube, I created a Facebook page for Pinches Laura's, a Instagram, and in the very beginning, no one knew it was me. Literally, no one knew it was me.
Right.
But once I went and got my photos, my content in Arizona, um, I needed a place to put that. So I started working on my website. So I had a couple years ago, I completely redid my website. So it's different, and but it's the same thing. You can go there and you can see my photos right now. Currently on my website, it only goes back 2 years, um, because I had several years on it prior to, but then it was running out of room and it wasn't fitting the format that I wanted. So I took all my old stuff down. Um, but now,
So is it only like a 2 year
yeah, I'm gonna do from now
prior?
on. Yeah. So then this year coming up, when I start posting for 2005, I'm gonna remove all of everything from 2003.
Sad face. I like sad face.
But
Hell
yeah,
yeah. But
but
that's how you create
yeah,
more content, and that's how you can explode more
Yeah, it's just keeping it fresh, and then I've even kind of thought about it. I was thinking about it yesterday, but matter of fact, is like, am I gonna should I just redesign my website? But I'm like, I don't think I really need to. I
I'm
just
like,
fresh stuff, yeah, because
big no.
yeah. So I mean, I like it. It's simple and easy, and I know a lot of people to this day. They're still nowadays. People are still stuck on social media. They barely know how social media works.
Oh yeah.
And one of the other reasons why I created a website is a lot of people on YouTube don't have social media. So a lot of people that see most of my content on YouTube don't have Instagram and don't have Facebook. So they're like, well, how do we know where? So for instance, like, how do we know about the car shows? Well, I was like, dude, it's Instagram. You can find the flyers everywhere. But well, I don't
Right.
have Instagram. So I created a flyer page for car shows content for car show dates on my website. So if you go to my website and you go under flyers, event flyers, all in right now already flyers for 2025. And not every show I'm going to go to, but there's shows, and I'm not charging anybody to do it. It's to me, it's a courtesy. Like I put flyers out on Instagram and stuff like that for different events and toy drives and car shows and everything else. And I put it out there as a courtesy to the lowrider community. It's not all about just, oh, I need to charge them to promote. Well, that's the thing. I
Right.
do if I put it out as a courtesy because I want to see the lowrider community thrive. Now, when a
Keep
promoter
going.
goes,
Yeah.
you
Let
know,
it grow. You want more
yeah,
people to come into
mm,
contact, and of
yeah.
course.
And this is kind of how I kind of got started because a lot of it was I'm gonna put these videos up on this new YouTube thing because I want to show people in San Jose that the Lowrider community is still here. We're still putting it down.
Oh yeah.
So a lot
Boy,
of it started
you
by
don't
that.
gotta
You know
worry
what I
about
mean?
that. I'm
But, but,
like,
but a lot of people were saying at the time around 2009, 2008,
oh, when it
they
was
were
just
saying
kind of like bumping and going.
it was like, but everybody was saying like, low riding is died out and everything. I'm like, oh hell no. So that's
Oh,
where like
definitely
I
not.
was starting to use YouTube as like, look, it's here, like it's here.
You revived it. You know, Alma, you really like revived the
Mm,
lowrider community in one way or another
yeah,
because you've gotten so many special photography, pictures, etc. You've gotten so many great shots. Not
mm,
even that, like you probably had a blast yourself.
yeah,
Like you've had so much fun doing this whole thing, and you're gonna keep going. Like
yeah.
you're he's gonna keep growing and growing.
And that's it. It's like I said, I'm always so busy and I feel like I'm so busy, but there's times I take a shot and I'm going, oh hell yeah, like that shit looks dope. Like I'm like, that looks dope to me,
Exactly.
not
I
because
did that.
I'm
I did
special.
that.
Yeah, but I did that and that looks sick. I like and and even when my son, when he was smaller, when he walked around with a little, I got him a little camera too, and
Mm.
he was small, he would take pictures, but it was funny because he would walk around with me and I would take a picture and he would look at it and he goes, I like that one, dad, and this and that.
Oh,
He got older, he didn't want to
so
walk
you,
around
yeah,
like
right, right. But like now, you're seeing your little growth
yeah.
grow
Hmm.
and expand, and it
Yeah,
keeps expanding every single day.
yeah, exactly. And so, and even with what you just said right now, so the last week I had my son and I was taking him back to his mom's, and it's about an hour and a half car ride,
Right,
and we were talking. And I kind of just like, okay, so next year, this is what's gonna happen. Maybe I'll fly you a couple places with me to go to a show, but you're gonna have to help me too. You have to just keep
right,
walking, go sit down and be on your phone.
right.
And then I told you there's some things I have in the works, some ideas that I want to implement in the next 2 years. So I'm telling my son this, what's going on, what I have ideas with, and
So he has your future plan going. He
immediately
has it.
yeah, but immediately he's like, "Oh yeah, and we can do this and we can do that and blah 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 blah." And I'm like,
Oh,
because usually he's just like, "Yeah, whatever,
you're like,
dad."
where's this coming from?
Yeah, exactly. So like, he's like, "Oh, anyway, we can do this, and I'll just need this, and we got to do this, and we got to get another one of those, and blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Oh hell yeah!" So
You're like, thank you.
yes, I'm like, okay, there we go. I found something that's gonna
Right.
because I'm trying to figure out a way to also get him more
Just
interested in what I'm
right.
doing because to him,
Does he like it?
he does, and it's just he's not. I don't know if he knows his place yet, like where he wants to go, and he's
Of
only
course.
12. So
I
I'm
mean,
like,
he's just a
and I'm
kid.
not
Oh
trying to
yeah,
force it on him,
absolutely.
but what I'm trying to do is like, look, dude, there's somewhere you can be here, and we're gonna figure out how it's gonna work for all of us. And
Kind of
I
like
do this,
spot
you're
him.
come with me, yeah. So we're gonna integrate what you feel like you want to do, and we're gonna make this all work. And so like a different show we went to the booth, and I said, okay, you're gonna sell the shirts, and I'm gonna pay you this much money. I'm gonna pay
Mm,
you $3 an hour, and you're gonna make, and then everything else, it's whatever we make. And I said, then if we make more than that, if we make more than expected, then I'll give you more money. But as
right.
of right here, you're guaranteed $20 an hour for this event. So, it's this many hours, and that's how much money he got. And so he's starting to realize that because he likes to play video games and stuff like that, so he can use his money for whatever he wants. But that's what I'm trying to teach him. Like, you work, you're gonna get this in this, and if there's, if it's better, you're gonna get like a bonus. So it's just part of it. Him, and bringing him into what I do and having him there. And there's times when we're just, I just want him to walk around with me. Like, dude, you gotta just walk around. Just come walk, see what I'm doing, whatever.
Right. Just
And
follow me.
yeah, and but that's where my fun is. That's where my stories are. That's where my memories are gonna be, because I can go to a car show
That's
and
what
someone
you're gonna
shakes
remember
my hand.
at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
That's
People come up to
that's where
me.
you cherish your moments.
Exactly. And these people come up to me and they say, "Thank you for what you're doing," or, "You took a picture of my car like 2 years
You're
ago."
really like, this is
You
for
know,
me.
and then I give out my stickers for free, and
I'm
I
like,
get that.
yeah.
And I get people coming up to me, you have any stickers, or I need another sticker. You gave me one before, but I sold that car. I need one for my new car,
Oh,
stuff like that. And it's humbling, because I'm
oh,
not
definitely.
I am not in any way grandiose, or it doesn't make me feel like I'm special. It just, like, people come up to me and say, "Hey, my kid watches your YouTube.
I'm
My kid
like, but then
watches your
don't
YouTube."
think you're not. I'm like, cause you are.
Well, I
You
know I know what I bring to the table. I
right.
mean, there's no I'm not gonna sit there and try to say, "Oh, I don't," I know what I bring to the table. And this is also why now where I've been, I do this marketing stuff. And when it comes down to some of the promoters, they pay me to promote their events, or
Oh
they
yeah.
pay for my hotel when I go to their show, or sometimes I even get flight and a hotel, stuff like that, because I know what I bring to the table. And
You know what you got.
yeah, exactly. But it's also a way. I'm not arrogant, I'm not demanding. I'm just like, let's figure out how we can make
You
this work."
kind of just go with the flow. You
Mhm,
make it work. You There's no plan to it. You
mhm.
get there, you do what you do, like you
Oh,
just
there's always a
there's
plan.
always there's always a plan, but honestly, whenever you go through the plan, it doesn't go.
That's right.
So you just I'm like honestly just flow with the boat.
Yeah,
Like at
exactly. And
this
and that
point,
is
yeah.
something at a certain point, you're just like, okay. And then, but see, once
Right.
again,
Yeah.
from experience, I've learned to
Mhm.
adapt. Like, I'm like, oh shit, it's like this. Okay, so I can go in my camera bag that I take everywhere with me. I
Yes.
have
I'm like,
I
yes.
have the ability to swap out things, and I'm like, this is not gonna even work here. So I gotta switch this shit out. And that's trial and error. That's me
So
going to
you
an event
kind
and not
of
having what I
minimize.
need. Yeah, that's going to an event throughout the years and not having what I need. That's something,
Well, not.
why I have a ton of
Let's
batteries,
not
backup
say
batteries.
not having what you need, but it's more like you overpacking. It's not what
Well,
you need. I'm like, you have what you need.
no, it goes to the experiences. Like, at one point, you show up to an event and you could have done something with the right, like, equipment.
Okay,
And
so you
you
always
know,
think
so I
back.
don't think
Oh, I
I
could have done this. I could have done
yeah.
that.
But
Okay,
next time I go to that show, I know that I only need to do this, and I only need to do that.
right.
I don't need
Okay,
to bring all this other bullshit. That's
right.
the catch.
So
Like,
you know from every show now
what
what to
makes
bring
sense.
and what to bring to the table. Let's just say.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Okay.
and that's, once again, it's the experience that I have doing all this stuff, where I don't find myself, like, I mean, I've had things happen, but I'm more or less like, I have my extra batteries, memory cards, I have things I need. And then in general, it's like knowing when to take a break, knowing to make sure I drink water, eat
Of course.
something, self care, as they
Eat
say.
something.
Eat something. That's
Eat
the hardest one.
something.
That's
I'm
the
like,
hardest
I've
one.
never seen you eat. Eat something.
I'll eat in the morning. Sometimes if I'm really lucky and I have time, I'll go have a nice breakfast in the morning.
Do you at least have appetite in the morning?
Yeah, no, I would, when doing a big event, I would rather go eat a big breakfast and then go out through the
Have
day
like no
and then
lunch.
just have like like I would just eat like a granola bar, or like, if depending on if it's like a bigger car show, if I'm lucky, I'll get like a pretzel. And then, but I have to try to get it before all the lines start, because
I'm
once
like,
again,
not you just throwing in if I'm lucky. I'm
yeah,
like, that just
if
makes
I'm
me
lucky,
feel
I'm just
like
gonna have a granola bar. Or
y'all better feed this man. Hold on.
but but see, that's the thing. I don't have the time to sit in the line for 15
I
minutes,
know.
and
That's what I'm saying. Y'all better feed this man.
you know, and
Everybody
that
else.
and that's the thing. It's like, um, when I do events, you have to be knowing that this is what's gonna be, or knowing that you're gonna have, okay, I need to stop and I need to eat something halfway through. So
Kind
I'm
of like what
planning
you
my
know
no matter what.
what you're gonna expect.
Exactly. And
Hmm.
and it's like, that's a big deal. And it's not about, like I said, it's not about like spending money with the vendors or anything like that, but it's what it is, it's about my time constraints.
Oh, definitely.
'Cause,
It's your time. Your
well,
time is
everything
everything to
in that
me. I'm
time
like,
frame, there's no redos. That's the
exactly.
I've had people that help me, and then they do something wrong, or I mean, I've had mishaps where I didn't connect the microphone correctly and it didn't record sound and stuff like that. But one of the things
You
I tell
just never know what is
yeah,
on the other hand of the no.
the fact is that this is a one-time event. They're not doing it again next week. They're not doing it again tomorrow. It's not till
Hmm.
next year. Everything you do is under a time constraint, because it's just gonna flow a certain way, and then you're done. And
I
that's
agree 100%.
so. I mean, some people just do random stuff, and you go in there, like I said, you got to go in there with a basic plan, and then sometimes you got to switch it out to make things work.
Kind of like swing things in,
Hmm.
but hmm that's honestly like I'm telling you, like whenever you make a plan, great. If it goes good, hell yeah. But
Yeah.
it's not always gonna go like that.
No,
You
no,
gotta
it's
play
not.
off the wing and hmm
I mean, and that's, and like I said, things happen. I mean, I've had like my assistant, my friend that was helping me one time. We were at an event, and then he stopped to eat, but then whatever he ate made him sick. It was like,
right.
but then, so now I lost the cameraman. So now I got to, like, okay,
You
decide.
can't control that
I got to
either,
get the other
right?
camera and go do it myself. And
You
you
gotta
can't,
keep going.
cannot
You
control
gotta
that.
keep going.
That's right. And
Hmm.
I mean, even I think one year I was gonna go to a car show, and um I got like a stomach flu the night before. So
Oh
I had to
yeah,
cancel.
the worst.
We even had a room. I had to cancel. I didn't even go. It was a 4-hour drive. I hadn't slept
Oh
all night.
damn.
Hadn't slept all night, and I said, "We're not going." And then there was like several people that were supposed to go, and I'm like, "We're not going because I can't go. I haven't slept. My stomach's I
We're
have
not
stomach
going.
flu.
I'm not going. We're all not going.
I was supposed to be the one driving. The hotel's under my name, and
Exactly. That sounds like no one's going.
nobody's going. And this was years ago, like a lot of years
Right.
before Pinches Lowriders. But it's just
Mhm.
like things happen, and
Oh yeah,
gotta
life
bear
is
with it.
gonna hit.
I had another event this year that I barely made, and I had got COVID the week before, and I
Wow.
was like,
And you
oh
made it?
hell no. I when I just was like, I need to test negative. Like by that, before that event, I tested negative 2 days before, and I said, okay, fuck it, I'm going. So
He
you know,
said, I'm on
you
my way.
and what's crazy is I drove out there. I drove to LA. I went to the Takeover Super Show, and I drove out.
Oh,
I
okay.
went
Okay.
I went to LA. I think we were I remember I was telling you about that show.
Yes.
But
I
I
was
ended
like, we
up
were talking
driving
about
all the
that.
way out there, and I drove all the way back after.
That's why I was like, ain't no
Yeah,
goddamn way you did that.
I did that in one day. One hitter quitter.
You're insane. See, this is what I mean that you make things work. You make everything work. No matter if you're busy, no matter if you're tired, you're gonna go and you're gonna make it work.
Exactly. And and that's just something, I am tired. I go to those shows, I am tired. I am hurting. My feet do hurt. It's like at, in Vegas that Saturday, I did that whole show. And
What
mind
day?
you, so when I did Vegas the Super Show, that show, um, the day before I was walking around when they were doing Move In. And
Correct.
then so then the next day I walk around the whole show. I got there at 9:30 in the morning. Or actually I got there like at 8 in the morning. The whole time I never fucking sat down. Not one. Not
Swear.
one time. There was nowhere to sit. There was like nowhere to really kick it. I think I only sat to like literally like change out a camera. And then I got up and I
And
went.
how long were you there for?
From about 8 o'clock in the morning till 4:30 or 5. Yeah.
That was a good 5 hours.
Yeah.
Just
And so
standing.
I was like thinking, so like I said, I went back to my hotel room and I'm like, can I take a nap? Can I take a fucking half-hour nap? And
You're so damn.
I'm like, you know what? No, I can't. What I did is I put I put my memory cards. I started loading my footage to my computer. I got in a shower. I got out. I was eating something, and I started editing a video, a 20-minute video, the first part one of the Vegas show. Edited
As you
it.
got there,
Went no, yeah.
went straight to
From
business.
at the hotel, I edited it,
Exactly.
set it to load to YouTube, and then I got ready and I went to the hop. You know, I it's like
You just go, like go, 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 go,
yeah,
go.
yeah.
No stop.
Don't stop, because you know what? The minute that I actually stop, then I don't want to do nothing no more.
You don't want to do it anymore.
That's why I don't even like sitting down at the shows unless I'm
That's
done with everything.
good.
If it's a smaller show and I get everything done, I'm gonna sit down and chill
You
out,
want to keep going. Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'll go do something else now. But
Well,
to
it's
get
more like I got footage. All right,
Mhm,
I'm gonna edit this.
mhm,
Cool. Next type thing.
exactly,
Oh
absolutely. It's
yeah,
always what's next. It's always get it done. There is no I'll do it next week.
I
I get
like
I get shit
that.
done
Always
ASAP.
get it done.
That's right.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's what it's all about.
And
Like,
it's like I said, it's you have to have a work flow. And doing this,
definitely.
I know some people
Not.
they have really nice videos, but it takes them 2 weeks, 3 weeks to put them out.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna expose anybody, but I did work with somebody out here,
Mhm.
and they took my pictures from probably like a month and a half ago, and they have not edited no photos, no nothing. I've texted them and everything, and they have posted pictures, videos, and everything off of their page, and it kind of hurt my feelings. And I told them like, hey, like, are you ever gonna like edit them? Cause I was asking him like, hey, like, can I post these? He was like, no, I don't like people posting pictures without edited. And I'm like, I've never got mine edited, so
Yeah. Well, I
you
mean,
know, that's
everybody
why I'm
has
like,
their
I
own work.
like. No,
Yeah.
yes, that's why I'm like, I like your rapid
Yeah.
footage. Like you're just on your stuff. Like, yeah,
Exactly.
hell yeah.
It took a while. It took a while, and but
But
on
you're
average,
you're going. I'm
yeah,
like, you're
on
going.
average, I can do. Let's just say I do 2 different events in a weekend. So Saturday and Sunday. In
That's
most
even just
cases,
one day.
most
That's enough.
cases, I'll have everything edited by the following Friday.
Yes. Yes, you do. I'm like, yes, you do.
Now,
You're
no,
quick.
but the thing is because one of the reasons why Friday is my deadline, the next Friday, because I'm already planning on doing another event when the season starts and all these shows. I'm already going to be at a different event that following weekend or something like that. So there's no like
That's
if I don't get by Friday, then I'm going to end up getting behind.
hell
You know,
yeah. So
and
you're always planning ahead.
that's right. And I have
Hmm.
my own deadlines and I have my own workflow. And yes, I'm tired. And
You
sometimes
have you
you
have a
can't stare at the
schedule.
computer for a
I'm
day.
like, hell yeah, we're all human. You have a schedule.
Mhm.
You have a deadline. You want to get things going. Of course,
Yeah.
you're gonna keep. Hell yeah, keep going.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like I said, I have a workflow and I try to do it so all my stuff doesn't back up. And then because I want to put it on the website and get everything out there, I have a deadline for myself. So in
Hmm.
at the end of the day, I know what I can do and when I can't. Even sometimes when I do events and it's just all video because I know I don't got time. I'm not gonna have time to either do the photos or I'm not gonna have or uh maybe the show is moving too fast and
But
it's more video content and then I'll have time
that,
to take pictures I want.
but you know what? Video is probably almost always what people want.
Yeah,
They want to see everything, especially if they weren't there.
yeah.
And you get all that footage,
Mhm.
which is amazing. You
Yeah.
get all that.
And that's usually that's one of the goals of what I've been doing because video is king. I'm sorry, but I
And
know photos
you're
is
you're
great,
yeah, you're
but
doing your
video
thing.
is
Hold
king.
on.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that I've learned that people want to see action, people want to see the movement, and some people were like, "You move too fast," or no. I said, "Look, I'm not a documentary videographer. Okay, I'm not here to,
If
to,
I move
to
too
get all
fast, you
the
know
details."
what? You want to be there? Go ahead.
Whoa, that's right. Go to the show. That's exactly
Exactly.
what I was gonna if you wanna see the details, go to the show. I'm just here to show you what
Exactly.
you missed, and that's what I tell people. My YouTube videos ain't here to show you the show in
I'm
entirety,
not
and
live,
it's
okay?
yeah, it's here to tell you what you missed. I want you to know you missed out on this car show. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Oh, you didn't go? Well, you missed out. You're gonna look at my video and you go, "I should have fucking went."
Yes. And
That's
you
my
know what?
mentality behind the way I shoot my
You
videos.
give that. You give that personality like, oh yeah,
That's
I should have gone.
that's
Even
right.
when you invited me, I was like, damn, I fucked up.
That was
Like,
that was a fun show, but it was
I
gonna be
bet
tired.
it
I'm like,
was.
she ain't gonna have fun going because I'm gonna make her get up early. We're gonna drive home. We're gonna drive back. Like
And
it's
I'm like, that wasn't even it. But I'm
like,
like,
oh,
your
you got a
girl was
model?
hungover.
I bet.
But
But that's what I'm saying. It's like it's a Sunday. You're like,
that's how I was like, damn. I was like,
how am I
damn.
gonna get ready and recover? You're not.
Oh yeah, you good. You good all
But
time.
you know what?
I'm like, you're solid.
I rather, and this is the thing. I rather someone say like, I'm not gonna be able to make it the night
And
before,
I
the
tell
day
you, I'm like
before.
all the time.
Yeah, but you know what the worst feeling is when you're waiting for someone and they flake. They
Exactly.
flake
Oh, it
straight
goes
up.
both ways. Like
Worst.
I'd be waiting for a fucking photographer, you be waiting for a model. Like
Hmm.
it goes both ways. Like it gets frustrating.
Don't let me get into them when they show up at freaking three
Right. That's
o'clock
I'm
in the
like,
afternoon.
don't even.
They show up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The
I'm
show's over. What are you doing? Well, let's shoot. I'm like, everybody's
like, where
packing
you
up already.
at?
Exactly.
Oh, I'm like, oi, don't even get me started. Hold on.
But yeah,
No,
I think
yeah, but
this year coming up, one of the things I am gonna do with shooting with models, not so much at the shows, but I'm gonna do just individual shoots where I just get the car and then just do the model,
hell
the
yeah.
model in the car thing, go to a location, shoot, and that's it.
Yes.
That's where I think that the if I'm gonna spend some time with the models, I'm gonna do my photo shoots separately than the car
It's
show.
more like individual and getting to know it, like each other type thing.
Yeah, I did it
It's
before,
more
but
like
I
connection.
rather
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
it's
I
harder
know you.
to get to get it where everybody's like on the same schedule, and sometimes you got to reschedule. Sometimes the car owner can't make
Oh
it.
definitely. It's
So
kind
yeah,
of hard
car
to even
show is
have like
easy.
anybody like schedule at the same
Mhm.
time because it is hard. Like
Yeah,
everybody has their own lives.
yeah,
People got shit going on. Like
and that's
that's
why
hard as fuck.
that's
Yes.
that's one of the things where, like I said, I don't do too much because at the car shows, they were like, well, I want to do this photo shoot and this car's going to be there. I want to do this and I want to do
Yeah,
that.
don't
And I'm like,
promise no nothing.
well, I
Yeah.
can't promise because it's going to be a busy
If
day.
it
And
happens, it happens.
that's right. But when it comes down to like doing an actual photo
Oh
shoot,
yeah, oh yeah.
realized, and it's
Especially when it goes to like a car group, they're always gonna be like, "Oh, but we're this and we're that." But it's like, bro, like, if I have time, I'll go. I'll get to you.
yeah,
If I don't, I'm
yeah, it's
sorry.
hard. Yeah, that's
Oh,
that's the hard
definitely.
part too. I've had people like, oh, you never take a picture of my car, or my car's never in your
Well,
video.
not even that. Like,
I'm
yeah,
like,
like
your car has been in my videos. It might have been like for like a couple seconds because I just passed by, but uh,
it
I
was
actually
there.
took the effort to walk every aisle. It took me so the Vegas
Exactly.
Super Show,
Yeah.
Las Vegas Super Show, and I 4 hours to walk every aisle of that event. And I
Hmm.
still missed 2 motorcycles, but I didn't realize I missed them until the end of the show, and I got footage with my phone, it did make the YouTube video.
Edited.
But
Right.
literally, I was already done, and I had everything put away, and I realized I was like I went to talk to some people I knew, and then their bikes were right there, and I didn't get them, so I just did it with my phone, and I put it in the video. But literally, I do my best to try to get everybody in
Every single footage. But
4
like
hours to walk
you're
that
not. I'm like you're not
perfect.
man impossible when you can just get every single car, which is so hard for you,
Yeah.
especially when you have that good photography. Especially, hold on, let's begin
Yeah.
with that
Video.
professional,
Yeah.
right? Like it's steady. Like nobody can complain really if you got them or not. Like they should even be privileged if they did or not.
Well, and that's the thing. One of the things that has helped also, kind of like project me out there into the world is so what happens is people will see their car in my video when they're watching it on YouTube,
Mm,
and then they screenshot it or they capture the video on their phone and they put it
mm,
up on Instagram and they tag me in it. So
mm.
now they're seeing their car in the video and they're putting it out on their social media and they're tagging me in it. And then it's getting more. And then what also does is also lets people know that my video is out. So then everybody else that sees them says, oh, I was out there
Goes.
too. Then they go look at the video to see if they can find their car. And then they post that on Instagram too. So at the end of the day, it works. It works out for me. But that's what people want to see. They're like, hell yeah, my video made it on Peaches Lowrider. My car made it on Peaches Lowrider. I was at the cruise night, or I was at
I'm
the
like,
show. So
that just gets me mad. I'm like, what? Yeah.
yeah, but
Okay.
it's fun. It's
It's
good to see
fun.
it.
It's fun.
It's
Okay.
good to see it, and when I see people posting and they're showing that their car made it to my video. You know, that once again, it's another humbling experience that they're
Hum-
excited, they're happy that they made it on my footage, my video, and my camera, my
exactly.
YouTube.
That's I'm like humbling word. Hold
Yeah,
on.
yeah, no, but it is. It
It
is
definitely
because,
is. Yes.
you know
Like
they're proud of what they're proud that I captured that moment for them.
you. Yes,
Yeah,
you did.
yeah, and
Hmm.
and that's the thing. Like I've tried to explain this to my son because once again, like to me, to him, I'm just his dad. But there's kids out there
I
and they're like,
know.
I watch your
But
YouTube.
you know what?
They're his age, and my kids are
Once
still looking. I'm like, what's so
I'm like,
special?
wait. Once he's old enough. No, hold
Yeah,
on. Ella, hold
mhm,
on. Once he is old enough. How old is he?
12.
12. Okay. Once he's like 16, 17, and he hears these. If we do, I'm like, if he ever do. But once he ever hears your podcast, he's gonna understand like where you coming from.
Oh
But
yeah,
right now, still he's gonna be a baby.
yeah,
Even though he's 12, he
yeah.
sounds old, but he's a baby. He's
Oh
still
yeah,
learning.
exactly.
Like,
And
he's
and and
still trying
that's
to find himself.
yeah.
But once he hears who his dad is, hold on, Ella, hold on.
No, and you know what? And that's part of why I do what I do. Honestly, because I want to
Hell
leave.
yeah,
I
I already
want,
know.
yeah, I
You
want
do
to
this
leave
all for your
something.
son.
He's gonna look back and go, "That was my dad."
Exactly. And that's
And what can he
honestly,
do?
that's honestly all you need to care about.
Yeah,
That's it.
exactly. And that's why like I said, what what I'm leaving behind is my voice, my
Yeah.
video, and my work, and he'll always be able to access that. You know,
I'm like, yes.
and that's kind of part of my goal. This is what I'm leaving behind. I am not rich. I'm not all that,
Kinda.
but
Boy, you're
what
leaving
I'm
a
what I'm
whole
leaving. Yeah,
history trail behind. What are you talking about?
exactly. Exactly. I'm trying to sit there and inform, the
Oh,
next
you are.
photographer, the next lowrider. This is what, the stories that I've had for, like, people don't understand, like, how cruising used to be and stuff. And when I opened up this
Exactly.
podcast, when I started this podcast, the first 3 episodes were my stories of cruising in San Jose, and that's not even the part. I left out all the bullshit that we did. You know what I mean? I'm trying to keep it positive,
Exactly.
but I left
People
out
don't even
all
know
the
what is
gangster
behind
shit,
the
the
fucking
drama. Yeah, the
yeah,
good
low ride community. Like you can always yeah. They don't know.
but
Like
that
they like to watch it and they love your content.
well, I'm trying.
But
Like I
on
said,
camp, I'm like, but always, I'm like, there's always something going on with the fucking law rider, no matter goddamn what.
yeah, but I'm already looking forward to next year. Like I said, I'm taking
Hell
a
yeah.
road
What projects you got going
trip.
on next year?
um one of the shows I'm excited, I've never been to, but I'm gonna go to Tampa, Florida. And that's
Florida. We're going to
Florida.
Florida.
Gonna go to Florida.
We're going to
Uh,
Florida.
the there's gonna be a big show. It's March 29th. March, yeah.
Oh wow! Oh yeah, that's good timing. Hold on.
Yeah. But I'm probably gonna go to Arizona. The one at the Cardinal Stadium. That one
What
is
day is that?
March. I think it's March 8th. I'm not sure. It's the
Okay,
big the
the first.
second weekend of March.
Okay, 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 okay.
I'll tell you right now. But I'm probably gonna go to that one, and then I'm gonna go to Tampa, Florida, and I'm looking forward to that because I've never been out there.
I'm like Florida,
January.
go boy.
Yeah, so March 8th will be the Arizona show, the Arizona Super
Yes.
Show.
Hmm.
That's at the Cardinal Stadium in
That's the
Glendale,
8th. Mhm.
and that's a Saturday. And then what's good about that day too is they have a cruise, and I went there last year too, and they do a big cruise out in Glendale.
Really?
Show is pretty popping, and
Okay.
so I definitely gonna be out there for probably that, and then I think I'm gonna fly my son out with me that for Arizona. Not too sure yet,
Oh yeah.
but
That'll be great for him. Have
yeah,
a different
the 2 shows I'm
experience.
definitely gonna do in March, and then with April, I'm not sure if I'm gonna go to Chicano Park this year. I might, and then I have Stockton car shows. Basically, I already know what shows I'm gonna pretty much
Attend
know
next
what
year.
shows I'm gonna go, but I'm also looking for events I haven't been to. So that's
Opening.
why I want to go to the Florida. That's why I want to go to Florida, because I've been
Yeah.
out there for that. And then, like I said, next year my goal is try to go to some events that I've never been to before. So even
Oh
if,
yeah.
say, something that I go every
Expand your
yeah,
everything.
I want to reach out and go to a couple different places and then just be different.
Definitely. I
So,
feel like you should.
well, definitely.
I'll
Well,
tell you a whole bunch. Not
and if
even
you
that.
haven't
Like
seen, if you
you
go to
have a
my
whole bunch of stuff.
website, you see your modeling pictures.
Oh yeah. I'm
And
like,
make sure you
oh
go follow her since you guys are listening. And I'm gonna in on YouTube under the video, I'm gonna put the link to her Instagram. So go follow Monse.
yeah. Yeah. And like we had a great conversation. I'm
I
gonna
want
hear like
I
tell
want
me
to keep
more.
in this year coming up too. I want to do some more lifestyle content. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
photos. I want to do some photo shoots, lifestyle photo shoots. And not really worried about the bikini stuff and all the other stuff. I want to go get some people, do some culture stuff, and I know a lot of people do it, and the reason why I don't go jump to do it because everybody else is doing it. But I feel like I want to
Mhm.
do some more stuff, and I want to do more stuff
But
like.
you know what? People like that.
Oh,
I'm
I
like,
know. I like it too. I see shit. I'm like, that shit looks dope, man. But just
I'm like,
it's
I
like
can do that, but I'm like,
well, when it's like a new mural gets put up, and then everybody's fucking photo shooting it like every fucking day. Like Like you just see back to back, like everybody's
I
taking pictures
know.
of that mural. That makes me not want to go to that mural. Like it's like, oh, that's a badass mural.
That's
It looks
why
dope.
I
And
like
then like
you because
every
you're
other
so
day,
humble.
somebody else is taking pictures there, and I'm like, you know what? Then I
Yes.
jump on that gravy train. I'm gonna let it fade away, and then I'll go take pictures there.
And that's
You know?
why I like you. You're different. You like different scenarios, you like different vibes, you like different people. I love that.
That's right.
But
And
it's kind of funny because people like certain people. Does that make sense?
no, yeah, people vibe with different people, and the thing is it as a photographer though, and a videographer, content creator, whatever, you really do have to find what works for you and what makes you stand out. And sometimes taking a step back and let
Exactly.
everybody else have that day is a way to sit there and look back, and then you go, okay, now I want to do it
Oh
completely
yeah,
different.
you realize
Yeah, yeah, you
you
see it,
think
and
about.
so that's my main thing is really is I watch how whatever it's just like anything else. There'll be a good old car show. There's a certain car there, and in the first all like that Monday, all the photos are of the
Everybody.
same car, of the same car.
Exactly.
The
Uh huh.
car's badass and it sticks out, but it
You gotta go
just
to
everybody
different
saw it. Everybody's post,
vibes.
but everybody's pictures are different. That's the catch. We all
Definitely.
see things. We all see it differently. Different angle, different thing, different everything, different camera, different lens. I mean, but at the end of the day, certain cars, certain models, certain people, certain situations, everybody is there, but we all see it differently. And we have to remember as content creators that that's the catch. That's exactly what we want. We want to be seen differently. We can't
And
sit there
that's
and
what that's
do
like
what
a
everybody else is
different.
doing. Mhm.
Exactly. That's one thing of like different content creators where they just want the clout
Mhm.
wherever they can get it type thing.
Yeah.
But that's what I like about you. Like you get the moment whatever it is, you post it, you get it, people
Yeah.
like it, and that's what it is. People like live raw things.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And like I said, it just see,
Hmm.
I look at certain situations and certain people, and well, if they did this, it would change the dynamic of whatever they're trying to convey. Just like one thing. It's like I tell you, I said, Dickies and heels for you. I want to see you in heels, but with the way you dress, with your Dickies and everything else. But just throw the
You
heels on,
will.
completely throw everything off. It'll throw everything off, but make a statement at the same time.
Right, like different. Like people be
Yeah,
like, "What?" Like,
yeah. I mean, I've seen it done. Don't get me wrong, but what I'm saying
so
is I don't think
they'll
you.
do it, but it's not seen.
Yeah.
It's not really known.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's different. That's how when you told me, I was like, "Bet." I never did it. Never recreated it. I'm gonna save it for you. Okay.
But definitely.
Yes.
Well, thank you for coming on. I have fun. We're gonna wrap this up. But everybody, you guys check this out. We're gonna be go follow her. Her link is gonna be in the bio, the information of this video. Um, if you're listening to it, it's what Instagram, Esa Monse.
Esa Monse.
Right, I'm sorry, I forgot. But
He said it right.
I was like, uh, what?
You like, hold on. Bring part.
But like I said, and at the end of the day, thank you for coming on. Thank you for the idea of you asking me all the
Oh
questions and
yeah, hell yeah. It was an honor to fucking interview you. Like it was so much fun. I'm like, I hope we both had fun. Hold on.
oh, yes, definitely that, and like I said, well, this is the podcast part. I probably maybe I'm gonna have to bring you back on more often. Maybe you'll be my co-interviewer. We'll see how
Woo!
it goes. We'll
I'm a
see how it
vibe, okay? I'm like, okay, no.
But we'll figure something out, and we're definitely gonna get some photos and content this year coming up in 2005.
Hell
So
yeah.
we'll make it happen. Okay.
Y'all stay tuned.
All right. Well, see you guys, and
Oh
thanks
yeah.
for tuning in. Thanks for checking out another Feature Podcast.
Pinches Lowriders.